So I take it that you're either curious about trying the Knees Over Toes Guy Zero program, or you've already started. Either way, welcome to the ATG family. As you probably can tell by the thumbnail, I've had some success with the Zero program, and in this video, I'm going to share my journey over the past 4 months. In a program using zero weight, I was able to pack on about 13 pounds over the course of these 4 months, and I won't lie and say that this was a perfectly executed lean bulk. I definitely gained some fat, but I knew that going in. My true goal was to simply build from the ground up and pack on size and open up ranges in my legs. I really wasn't focused on the upper body. Instead of skipping leg day, every day became leg day, and I ended up accomplishing what I set out to do. My pain results, my ankle pain in both ankles is gone. My back pain has diminished significantly. Medial nerve pain in both of my knees, gone. My leg strength has gotten way more balanced. Everything just feels better, even mentally. I've actually been involved with Knees Over Toes Guy for over a year now. I progressed in his programs for a few months, and then I ran into issues. I became a basket case, to say the least. I had lost all of my confidence. I started to really self-doubt. I got frustrated. I became a victim of my circumstances. The stress was literally eating away at me. I was losing a ton of weight. Most of the strength that I'd gained over the previous 5 months, had been just withering away. Everything was falling off, and I hit an extremely low point from about the months of January to March at the beginning of this year. At that point, I joined ATG for Coaches. This is the coaching program that's involved with Knees Over Toes Guy. I decided I had to study this information to deeply understand what I was doing and where I was going wrong with my body and with my training. And so I can honestly say that joining this group was the best decision I've ever made in my life, as they've just brought me in and accepted me. And it was actually this weekend I flew out to the Mark Bell Sacramento event, got to meet Ben, Mark Bell, bunch of amazing people who showed up for the event, and I was able to coach with all of these fellow ATG coaches. Let me take you through the last 4 months and explain how I've progressed through the various exercises in this system. Now, the most important and my favorite exercise by far, especially for people who are struggling, is sleds. Reverse out knee pain. Except in my case, I actually went with the Heavy Ass Sled Drag, HASD, because going backwards was actually too much pain for me. I started having literally too much pain to even pull a sled forward with no weight on it, and I ended up getting to a point where I could pull 120 pounds for a good 10 to 15 minutes, and ultimately got into reverse out knee pain after a few weeks and months of pulling. As far as the ankles go, at the start I had so much pain even doing wall tibialis raises. Now I can do them with ease. I had to start though with literally ankle circles off the bench. If you've ever seen Ben's ankle protocol, I started with 1 pound doing ankle circles on the end of the bench. By the end of zero, I was doing 15-pound ankle circles. Moving up to the calves, I went from pain with FHL, flexor hallucis longus, and KOT, knees over toes, calf raise positions, to being able to get full knees over toes and working up to single leg FHL calf raises, 25 reps. These exercises, as well as the calf stretch and the couch stretch, if you've seen Ben do those, all of those combined with the ankle circles really opened up my ankle mobility. Knees. From avoiding movements like step-ups, split squats, to absolutely falling in love with them and deciding to master them in the long term. So like I said earlier, I was a basket case 4-5 months ago. I was avoiding step-ups and split squats for literally months because they really hurt. The beauty of all of these movements is that they have this self-discovery component. You get to actually learn about your body. I personally learned that because I always jumped off the same leg in every team sport that I ever played, and I always kicked the ball in soccer with my right foot, my hip flexors and quads were massively imbalanced from left to right side. So if you actually want to learn about your imbalances, ask yourself those questions. What team sports have I played? Did I use one side over the other more often when you're doing the activity? So when you're kicking, when you're throwing, when you're shooting, when you're punching, twisting, swinging, any possible athletic movement, most team sports will actually create these imbalances in muscles that will need specific targeting. Now, Ben's program inherently does this, but if you want, you can actually do twice as many reps on the weaker side. So for me, I do twice as many reps on my right leg for both step-ups and split squats because I'm actually trying to rebalance my body faster. It will happen long term if you just stick with the single leg movements, but if you want to speed up the process, you can add those extra reps. On step-ups, I got some amazing tips from an ATG coach, Zach Woodward, who's on Instagram. If you're not following him, check him out. He really helped me target my quads and get into position so that both sides of my legs when I'm doing step-ups look identical, and that was huge for me. Split squats, I started on literally like almost above a foot surface. I got all the way down to flat ground within 10 to 12 weeks, and I really found the pulse reps to be really powerful. So the pulse reps is basically just sitting in that bottom position and going up and down without going through the full range of the motion. Finally, hip flexors. I went from literally having no range in my hip flexors, having immense pain when I tried to get into a couch stretch, to being able to get shoulders to the wall and having very much less pain getting into those positions. I should say that the biggest factor, in my opinion, of how I've been able to have success over the past 4 months is actually my diet. I was recommended to go on the Carnivore Diet from my mentor Keegan Smith, and this protocol included organ meats, grass-fed beef, eggs, a lot of animal fat, and actually 0 carbohydrates, which this all seems absurd, and for me it was absurd at the start, but for people who have struggled with gut health, mental health, being stuck in plateaus physically in your training, I would actually highly recommend this diet, or at least looking into it. I've personally gone from being controlled by negative thinking, negative emotions, thinking about the past, to being super forward-looking, controlling my whole life with positive emotions like gratitude, appreciation, love, care, acceptance, all these powerful emotions. And maybe that sounds hippy-dippy to some of you, but I feel so much better on this, and I'd be a fool to not share it with you if I think that it could help you. I hope you found some value in this video. If you have any questions about ATG training, the carnivore diet, or any other health-related questions, I'm always happy to answer them. The easiest place to reach out to me is on Instagram at MaxHFreedom. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Let me know what you didn't like. Share this video with some of your friends that you might think could benefit from this training. And last but not least, I love you, ATG family.